Today is a fantastic day. I have been waiting for this game to have a demo or something for ages. I absolutely love Warhammer. Though don't ask me too much about the lore because, you know, I'm still reading through the books. I'm not going to tell you I'm some crazy lore junkie, but I've always loved Warhammer. And who doesn't love Vampire Survivors? I do a lot of Survivor likes on the channel, so I was super excited to play this. As you can see, I am just starting fresh. This is actually the first time I have come into this game at all. So let's get started. But yeah, I cannot wait for this game to come out. You can bet I will be covering this game a lot on the channel. Like, I don't know how many hours I put into Vampire Survivors or every other Survivor like I've played, but I have a feeling this one is going to dwarf all of those. Granted, you know, I don't know yet. Could be bad. I doubt it, but it could be. Alright, I gotta see what this... I want to see what this question mark is, but I should probably, like, kill some things and maybe, like, level up on my way there. Yeah. Let's grab the Boltgun. Get some range in there. What is a good Space Marine without some sort of bolter? Huh, you seem aggressive. Okay, you are aggressive. I don't like this. I need an adult. I'm gonna be punished for the fact that I walked in here and immediately beeline for one of those question marks. I should have, like, killed some, got some experience up first. Alright, throws exploding dice. I'll take those. I really like that, actually. Like, a nice mix between, like, the tabletop and whatnot. I didn't know if they were gonna kind of go that route or just be like, it's just in the Warhammer universe, this is a video game. So that's pretty cool. I'm already happy about that. I'm not happy about my performance this round, but you know, I feel like this is how all Survivor likes go for me at this point in my life, because I'll gravely underestimate them. Or I'll treat them like the Survivor, like I was just playing, you know, Halls of Torment all day, and I'm significantly further along in that. Well, not significantly, but further along enough, you know, I have some meta progression. I don't die from just doing reckless crap. So I kind of just approach this the same way. It is, it's probably bad for me to play a new Survivor like after playing a bunch of old ones earlier that day. That and Holocure. That's what I've been playing this week. Let's see if we can get another level or so under our belt and save our skins. Okay, it fires one more projectile. Glue reduces incoming damage by 1. Increases retaliatory damage by 10%. That sounds really cool. I want this chainsword. Oh, it goes both ways. Okay, we're good. There we go. There we go. Yo, what is up, Tactical? How's it going, man? Oh. I want my chest. But I'm gonna die. It's all because I looked at your comment. So I have 1 minute with any character. Cool. We'll take those. We'll just finish. It's already wishlisted, my guy. This has been wishlisted since before this demo existed. Alright. Let's roll in. I'm going to be less reckless this time and actually just kind of, like, play it like I'm playing the beginning of a Vampire Survivors run. I don't like the gaunts, though. The little gaunts. Ermagaunts? Tormagaunts? See, I'm a bad Warhammer fan. Increase size of attack by 10%. Wow, okay. So this was what I... And, like, between the dice and the Null Oil, I get it, right? Because, like... Sometimes it is, we are going to be grimdark far future, and other times it's like, yeah, guys, it's Warhammer. We laugh at stuff that happens here. And I feel like this is going to be a little bit more the latter, which is kind of awesome. Like, Null Oil and six-sided die are weapons. That's really cool. I'm really, really happy about that. Which is sad for me, because here's the thing. I always wanted to play the tabletop game. Like, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to play the tabletop game. But here's the thing. When, like, a 10-year-old looks at their parents and goes, hey, can you buy me $300 of plastic that you know I will never paint, so I can go to a store with a bunch of strangers and play this game? They just kind of look at you and go, no. Which is completely fair. The people wonder, did Horus do it? Yes, Horus did a lot of shit wrong. Don't get me wrong, it was Erebus's fault. Which means it was kind of... No, I would say it's Lorgar's fault, but, like, Erebus was... I am one of those who blames Erebus mostly for the Horus heresy. Mostly. Horus still did some wrong things. Magnus did nothing wrong. I will stand by that firmly. Magnus committed no crimes. Okay? He was literally just trying to warn his dad. Granted, he did it in probably a bad way, but it was also the fastest way he knew how. And, you know, then everyone's like, well, Magnus is chaos. And it's like, yeah, if you were put somewhere on a fucking demon world and your son was getting murdered and turned to dust over and over and over again, you'd do anything to make it stop too. Because that's the thing, Magnus never wanted to be chaos. It's just Tzeentch was like, you can either have this or be my personal little chaos army. I was Alfarius the entire time. We're all Alfarius. That should be the play. We're all Alfarius now. Treasure? Yeah. See, that is one thing Poncle does really well. They're like, we know the exact sounds and crap to play to make your brain just poop out dopamine and be like, you want to come back, you want to come back, you want to come back, you ever been to a casino, you want to come back. And, you know, you gotta give it to them. It works. Like, the amount of jingle keys ass crap in their games, there's a lot of it. And I'm here for all of it, to be clear. Because let's be honest, I play these because my brain does not produce dopamine otherwise, okay? Which is fine, but that's what these are for. I really want to go after those question marks, but I want... I died horribly, and now I'm, like, afraid, so I'm like, let's get a little shored up before we go. But I think the Null Oil is huge for just thinning stuff out. The double-sided chainsword is just giga massive. And the bolter's cool. I'm not gonna lie, as of right now, I'm a little underwhelmed with the bolter. I feel like in every Warhammer video game, the bolters always feel super underwhelming. And, like, I guess I kind of get it from, like, a game design standpoint. Because, like, if you sit there and try to go by the logic of what is a bolter, geez, these guys are vicious. What am I supposed to do about you? If you sit there and look at the logic of what is a bolter, it's like, okay, I can't design a game around this. You have a rocket-propelled, armor-piercing grenade. What? There's no gameplay around that. It should explode everything it touches. So it's that weird level where, like, the absurdity of Warhammer is such a good setting for video games and also kind of a bad setting for video games. Alright. My kingdom for a heal. I don't even know what that pickup was back there, but this dude was about to... Are you kidding me? Is that a mine? Is that a spore mine? No, not today. Man, if I wanted spore mines, I would be playing Space Marine 2 right now. Which, I'm not gonna lie, guys, there was a small part of me that had forgot it was Skulls Day, and when I remembered, I almost was like, I don't need to stream. I could play Space Marine 2. But then I found this game and I was like, oh yes, we're doing this. You haven't seen it. So, okay. So to be fair, Space Marine 2 integrates weight very well. It is actually amazingly done. It is literally just the bolters are very hard to do because it is hard to make them accurate like they're supposed to be in the lore, and then also like have gameplay around that, right? Because, like, I'm sorry, if you I shot a mini rocket propelled grenade at you that's armor piercing. There's no gameplay around that, dude. That should just rip through whatever it's touching, right? But Space Marine 2 does weight very well. I mean, it is one of those things where every step you take, you feel the fact that you're a fucking Primaris Marine in Ceramite armor. You feel it. It is... The controller vibrates with literally every step. They did an okay job of, like, showing speed, and that's, I think that's the biggest thing. The biggest hard part for game developers or anybody doing Warhammer is the weight and the speed is very hard to show at the same time, because the ways you show weight relatively through games, movies, a lot of things, anything really, the way you show weight relatively is usually by having something being slow and chunky, right? But the way you show speed is the complete opposite. And, you know, because Warhammer sounds like a teenager wrote it, like, Space Marines are supposed to be insanely fast on top of being massive. And that is something I think they really are never going to get right in the games. And I'm also kind of okay with that, right? Like, I've kind of come to terms with that. Also couldn't help but notice my channel is up nearly 20% in 2 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, man. Been doing some content, doing some things and some stuff. Oh, I'm dying. But that is how Vampire Survivors went the first few times. Reach level 5. Chain Sword level 4. Defeat 1,000 enemies. Unlock the lightning bolt. Okay. Yo, what's up, Paltan? How you doing, man? I'm just gonna finish. I'm gonna return to the fight. I would also check out Age of Sigmar, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not nearly as interested in Age of Sigmar. I know some people are gonna hear that and call blasphemy and say that's a crime, but I'm just not. Can't hear nothing at the casino? That's fair. Well, all you need to know is that in the far, far future, there is only war. And that, man, I forgot how rough Vampire Survivors probably was at the beginning. No, 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 don't hit me! I'm fragile. Sure, my armor is like 2 sheets of titanium smacked together with a bunch of other shit, but I'm fragile. Age of Sigmar is one of those things that I've always, like, conceptually thought is really cool, and then, like, I just never got into it. Okay, so we're not gonna go bolter this time. I don't think I care. I don't think I care about the bolt gun at the moment. That's like a Warhammer 40k blasphemy. I gotta take it. I don't want to, guys, but I gotta take it. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't live with myself if I didn't take the bolter. No. Stay away from me. What are you, a hive tyrant? Go, dude, bro. Oh no, you're a lictor. Lictor. Fuck off. Oh, I don't want to. We're gonna take the chain swords first. We're gonna take a lot of things and then I'll ultimately take the bolter. I just don't feel like it's useful. That is, like, I truly think playing as many Survivor Likes as I do backfires on me more than it helps me with these games. Because I just end up treating one like another, and there's little differences that get you caught and in trouble a lot. But I cannot wait for this to come out. Look, guys, I just need you all to know when this comes out, you're either not seeing me for a week or I'm just gonna stream this for a week. I don't know which. I haven't decided yet. Depends on if we're sharing Warhammer or Warhammer Survivors is just for me. I need to keep some games for myself, guys. Man, that dude fucked me up. Get more Null Oil, though. Alright, let's go see if we can rescue, I assume, that guardsman. I assume we're trying to rescue the guardsman. And then we can play as a guardsman. Which is, like, weird. That is, like, the biggest, weirdest thing I always find about Warhammer, right? I feel like there's, like, a very... There's three types of Warhammer fans. There's people who just kind of understand and take the whole setting as it is, and they kind of like everything about it in its different capacities, which is, you know, like me. And then you have your people who absolutely hate Space Marines, and then your people who absolutely love Space Marines and hate everything else. And I just find it so funny because, like, and I get the people who hate Space Marines are just like, I didn't want a Superman comic, I don't want Mary Sue's, I like the Guardsmen because, like, you think about it, in this terrifying universe, yeah, you're this genetically altered super soldier in massive amounts of armor. Okay, you were literally made for this. The Guardsman is just a human dude. He's just a guy. It is called you after work. Someone handed you a flashlight and said, fuck some shit up. And you're going, what? So I get, like, why people are like, yeah, the Guard are the real heroes. But I'm like, I don't know, man. As long as I sit there and just, like, try to suspend my disbelief, Space Marines are badass. It's super fun. Please no spore mines. I hate spore mines. I hate spore mines so much, like with a passion. I want spore mines to be removed from Warhammer 40k canon, like entirely. That's my wish. All right, we're gonna be smart about this. Uses weapons 1% faster per rank. Reduces incoming damage. Reduces max health. Duration of weapon effects, recovers HP per rank. We're gonna go with weapon speed. You can go. We can just max that. I say we just max that. We're gonna do that. And we're gonna get back in there. And then after that, we'll max something else. This does not feel appreciably faster. That's not good. Okay. I'm sure it's because it's, like, completely unupgraded. That's, like, the biggest thing with meta progression in these games, is always figuring out what actually matters, right? It's like, I can tell you that in all these games I usually favor attack speed. Is the meta progression of attack speed actually enough for me to want that, for me to care? Is it worth the investment? I'm gonna take the Null Oil. I do really like Null Oil. I didn't like the dice. They seem to, like, fall at the bottom of the screen. I don't know. It didn't feel good. Maybe I need to, like, pick them. You know what? I'll pick them again and see what happens if I, like, invest in the dice. Let's see what this thing is. I wanted to know what this was last time, but I was too busy almost dying. Yes! Thank you! Hey, you, come here. Come here! That's right. Get fucked on. Get fucked on. Yeah! Do not suffer the Xenos. Yeah, I said it. I'm gonna go with it. We're gonna see. You know what? Let's see who's over here. I need rank 2 of the chainsword. Jesus. I swear I've played Warhammer properties before. I promise I know what I'm talking. I've read the books. Some of them. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've read all of them. Let's be honest, I'm not even gonna act like I read them. Okay, guys, it was an audiobook. This was back when I was working in a lab. I was hearing about Lorgar's treachery while, like, mixing chemicals, okay? You know what? Move speed. Move speed is the ultimate defense. That's what I should go for next, actually. And what I should have probably gone for in the first place. This attack speed feels worthless. I should have gone for move speed. And I think that would have made me feel happier. I upgraded my attack speed. Now I feel empty inside, chat. What is a man to do? Is this you still on 1 HP? No. I failed that and came back in. Like, with Vampire Survivors, especially, too, I push meta progression in those games before I, like, try to really champ it out. I feel like there's some Survivor likes where it's like, hey, yeah, you could win your first run if you're real savvy. And I feel like there's some that aren't, and, from the feel of this, I don't think Poncle makes the kind that you can survive your whole first run without any meta progression. I could be wrong, right? And by I could be wrong, I mean, I know I'm wrong. I know there's someone out there who's just like, oh, dude, you suck. Just do this, this, and that, and they're just better than me. I know that person exists, but it ain't me, guys. I'm not the hardo. I've never been a hardo. Hey, more dice. More money is the important part. Money, money, money. Money! Alright, get me out here, get me out here. This is why I need speed. I have a need for speed. Actually, what I really want is to, instead of being a blueberry, I want to be in red. And then I just want to scream Kerchow as I run around at top speed killing Xenos. I think that's truly every man's dream. The Lightning McQueen Legion. Turns out that's the second Legion. Oh, this Twitch app better keep my streak. It should. If you Paltan, if you lose your streak and you want it, what you do is you can just go on later. Oh, armory menu. Okay, cool. That's a good unlock. You just go on later and you can just like start watching the VOD and that'll save your streak if you want to keep your streak. Please, please, please. I need an adult. I should have went speed first. I don't know why I went attack speed. Guys, I don't know. My mind was like, oh, what if I murder things faster? I'm too Warhammer 40k meathead right now. I'm thinking like a world eater at the moment, not like a blood angel. Actually, world eaters, everyone's like, oh, world eaters are angry and dumb. No, world eaters are sitting there just going, Dad, please love me. That's all world eaters ever wanted. They're like, maybe if I subject myself to awful pain like he feels constantly, he'll love me. The fact that like half that legion just got butcher's nails is insane to me. Yeah, that's right. We got dice galore. Oh, and I'm dead. That's the coolest part. All right. But we got meta progression. That's the most important part. All right. Where is... Yeah. Okay. Can I... This is just like Vampire Survivors. Good. We do that, and then maybe we go strength, or let's go toughness, and then we can go into strength. I think this... no. How much are you? Nope. I had dreams, chat. The fuck I thought. The Angry Marines? Yeah, I mean, their Primarch was named Angron. Games Workshop wasn't exactly subtle with that. Okay, yeah, the attack damage was really needed. You start off with just slightly too little damage to one-shot these mid guys. The attack damage was what was needed. This feels so much better. Not gonna lie, the move speed does not feel that appreciable, but we'll see in a minute. I'm definitely faster. Like, I can feel it, but it does not feel like day and night. Feels like I might still end up in a bad situation. Yeah, we'll take the dice. We're gonna take the dice. We're gonna make them good this time. We're gonna actually get somewhere this time, chat. We're gonna do it up. I'm gonna become the very best that no one ever was. Different franchise, I know, but that's not the point here. Oh my god. Okay, Games Workshop, if you're listening, hear me out, hear me out. Make a monster taming game, right? Where you're just tracing the you just go around grabbing Xenos, and then the last, instead of an Elite Four, it is literally just the Battle of Cadia, where he started just popping out Custodes and shit like they were fucking Pokemon. Games Workshop, please. Please. That would be so good. I would play Warhammer meets Pokemon the fun way. That would just be so good. No, see, here's the problem, Tactical. We can't get into breeding them because that's gonna invite some unsavory clientele. And besides, Warhammer is very pretty anti any... There's not a lot, not anti, there's just not a lot of sexual stuff, but I think it's usually because, like, right, a lot of the books and things are Space Marines and they just don't care. They're like, why are people throwing DNA at each other? I just have this random organ in me from Dad. And when I die, it'll be put in someone else. You're like, okay. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. All right. We leave Boltgun, we grab glue, and then we just Nuln Oil and dice like crazy. I want this whole place exploding with paint and dice. This battlefield will become my pile of shame. Which I don't have. I actually don't own any minis. I really wish I did. But even nowadays, I look at, like, the sets, and I'm like, $300? You know what? I don't need to pick up a new hobby today. We could just keep playing the games. And now that they gave me a Survivor, like, I could... My whole rotation could just be Warhammer shit. My entire catalog could just be Warhammer, other than Monster Tamers. But, guys, if you... Games Workshop... Hear me out here. I think it would be amazing. Nuln or Chainsword? Let's go gnome. Let's really just start messing some dudes. I want the chainsword to attack faster. I need garlic. What is this game's version of garlic? Does this guardsman have it? Is it his base weapon? Jesus. I don't like how they spawned in. Fuck. No, 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 no. You fuck off. I have been killed so many times by your frickin' Xenos ilk in Space Marine 2. I hate the vile burning passion. I hate spore mines. I would rather deal with so many enemies in so many other games. Alright. See, I beelined for these chests because I was like, I'm probably gonna die. But a couple hundred extra, what are these? Ordo dockets? We're just gonna call them Ordo dockets. I don't know. Alright, so play for a total of 30 minutes. Okay, unlock Chaos Sigil. Cool, 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 cool. Let's find... Increase the size of attack by 3% per rank. Tires one more. Pickup range is increased. What are the rest of these? Veterinary, 3 more experience per rank. More coins per rank. Increases enemy speed. Oh, that's terrible. And then redeployment. Okay, I think we go with Tithe, do we not? We go with one of Tithe. Yeah, okay. And then can I get another speed, or is that too rich for my... That's too rich for my blood. We'll just add weapon speed, right? Where's universe? I can just change back to Sigmar. You know what? Let's check out Age of Sigmar. I've never dabbled with Sigmar, so we'll see. I imagine it is in the far, far past there was only war. Right. Oh, 1 second. All right, so let me see. That's also what I wonder. I mean, I probably could have just looked, but meta progression and unlocks, is this essentially just a second game? Did they just release two? Did they put Pokemon Red and Blue in the same game essentially? Because if they did, I am so for this. Oh my god. I mean, I'm already so for this, right? I'm already going to be addicted. There's zero question about that, guys. This is already going to be a problem. I no longer have friends and family. I have Warhammer. Alright, let's see. I'm realizing I'm just like beelining it to this question mark, and I probably should be murdering. But I don't think I have any of my meta progression. Not that I was like super up there, but I don't even know who this chick is, too. Dude, is this ancient Big E? Hey, what's up, Dasman? Thank you very much for the lurk, man. All right, I like that you're slower than the frickin' Hive Tyrant or Lictor, slower than the Lictor. I keep forgetting what I'm fighting. Mostly because, you know what? Mostly because I'm on that fucking Black Templar shit where all Xenos look the same to me. Alright? That's where I'm at. Boltstorm Pistol. So this is actually interesting to me because I know nothing about Sigmar. I don't know what a Boltstorm Pistol is. That sounds cool as hell, though. But I really can't stress this enough. Please do not give me an entirely other set of books to read. I can't. I can't. I don't have the time. I have shit to do, guys. Which is weird, because I don't have a job, but, like, I genuinely don't even understand, like, if you were straight up unemployed, I don't think I'd have time to go through all the Warhammer 40k and Age of Sigmar books. I think I would die before I finished them. I'm really not liking the sound effect of, what is that, the Boltstorm crossbow? That is just sounds like a whip. But it is what it is. All right, let's level up. There we go. Okay, so we got roughly the same stuff. I'm guessing that I have my meta progression. That is my guess. Mostly because this feels like I have my meta progression, unless she's just like, he, whatever I'm playing is worlds faster than a Space Marine. Which I could believe. There's a reason why the Imperium hasn't just won the universe yet. I also would imagine I keep my meta progression because it looks like the same exact currency, rather than being like, oh, this is similar but kind of different. And in that case, I wonder what these unlocks are. Like, if they're not characters, are they transient between both halves of the game? God, I've been waiting for this for so long. The second I found out about this game, I was a level of excited to where I had to purposefully forget about this game. Grants access to Warhammer Age of Sigmar Armory. Okay, so those things are going to be different. That's fair. We'll see. Because, like, you could easily make the meta progression exactly the same, right? I assume you have chaos in both universes, right? Like, they've been around forever. It's kind of part of the problem. Well, maybe not forever, especially not if you're Slaanesh. She's a baby. He's a baby. It's a baby. Fucking Eldar birthing a sex demon. Freaks. This is why we don't like Xenos chat. Ugh. Please don't shoot me. What are these, Skaven? Ugh. Ugh. Filthy creatures. Nope. Hey, you take those. I really hope it's the same meta progression currency. Like, I hope it's shared between both sides. That would be really, really nice. I'd be extremely happy about that. Because that is one thing I've been finding recently that I get really annoyed at, is the amount of survivor likes that are like, what if you had to grind forever? What if you had to play this game for 1,000 hours to remotely see all it had to offer? And I know there are people out there who are super excited by the thought of that. They're like, oh, I never have to go outside again. I just like too many games, so whenever a game is super grind heavy, it just bothers me because I'm like, I don't have the time to, like, devote to this like y'all want me to devote time to this. Okay, so I guess that's my question. Is it that the meta progression is essentially just literal levels of that? Or have I actually picked up, like, 3 or 4 levels of it? Maybe I have. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I don't pay attention to any pickups that aren't weapons or something that I already know is a fusion. Does this game... I mean, I assume this game has fusions. I should probably figure out some of those now, shouldn't I, chat? Ugh. Okay, this whole Skaven Stampede thing, I do not want to be Mufasa. Alright? Do not run me over. Now we got demons and shit. All wild and out. Let's go with that. More axe. I need an adult. Let's get some Nuln Oil to thin out this massive horde of demons and rats. Oh my. Is that like lions and tigers and bears for Warhammer Sigmar? It's demons, rats, and elves? Oh my? Do we like the elves in Sigmar? I don't know, guys. I'm gonna have to get back to y'all on that. We'll figure it out together. Why aren't you... You're not glowy green like you guys used to be. You're glowy green. You got to get fucked up, dude. By that I mean I see so much XP. What do magnets look like in this game? I was just like a straight up classic iron horseshoe magnet. Like, they could do something cool. They could be like, yeah, it's Warhammer 40k. It's like some weird, like, electromagnetic hyper cube of suckery. Nah, I just want it to be a good old-fashioned horseshoe magnet. Painted red on one end, blue on the other, or just left gray. Who cares? Nobody knows how they work. Do they even know how magnets work in Warhammer? That's a real question. And I don't mean like how, I mean like why, right? That's the whole people don't know how magnets work. You do, but it's why. Please don't kill me. What was that? What was that? Why is there an exclamation mark? What's happening? I don't... Chat, I don't like what's happening, because I don't know what's happening. It scares me, and therefore it shouldn't be happening. Okay. Seems it's something I must deal with, maybe? What is... Is it... Oh, okay, I figured out what's happening. That is them warning me about, like a Skaven poison bomb or something. Said the man standing in the exclamation mark until he found out, guess what? This'll fucking kill you. Good job, Cobalt. You moron. Alright. I should be making my way downtown, walking fast. Faces past, I'm homebound, but I really... Ooh, okay. Health potions in this are blue. Good to know, good to know. Not the color I would have chosen, but good to know. See, this is why you guys design the games and I just play them. I would have chose red like a fucking idiot. I'm gonna die, chat. This is the end. This is all she wrote. I don't have that, like, big weapon fuck-offery that you need to survive when the Hordes start looking like this in these games. Like, I need a weapon evolution, or, I don't know, some sort of disco ball of lasers or some shit. I don't know. I don't know. Yep. Okay, it is. It looks like it is separate. Yeah, it is. So it is. This is basically just two straight up separate games. That's super cool. Mildly annoying, but I'm really excited about it, actually. Yeah, we take those. We take those. We're gonna go back to 40k because that's my my bread and butter, but I'm happy this exists in the way it does. Gonna be annoyed about the fact that playing this will take me literally forever, but I imagine like one weekend I'll have nothing to do and I'll just like sit down and beat it. That's what I do with Vampire Survivors. Dasbin actually is the one who made me get Vampire Survivors. We were hanging out and I saw him playing it and I was like, why do my eyes hurt and why do I want that? And that's all she wrote. Now I have a YouTube channel that does a bunch of Survivor likes. But to be fair, that is like the first thing that you say when you see Vampire Survivors, right? You're like, ow, my retinas. How do I have this pain all the time? This is good for me in some way, shape, or form. So, whatever. I was gonna say, I will say, I like the change of setting, obviously, because 40k to Sigmar. There are certain things I wish they had found like a good universal thing, just like health packs. Because I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. I play a lot of games at like 3 in the morning when I'm sleep deprived as all hell. And I know my dumb ass is going to forget. And I'm just gonna be like, what's that book looking thing? It's like, well, you're in 40k, so that's a health pack. You're in Sigmar, this would be entirely different. I wish when they were about to charge, if you hit them, they, like, didn't. Like, I wish they had, like, a little swiper, no swiping kind of deal. Like that, right? Like, if I hit him right there, he should just be like, ow. Why'd you chainsaw, like, one of my tentacles off? I'd be like, because you're Xenos. Don't. Thank you. I feel like a lumberjack. Just like hacking away at this with chainsaws. Just like a massive column of them. Like, let's be honest, the Tyranids are probably the scariest army. It's like them and the orcs. Ooh. That's what I want to unlock and play as, is orcs. I love how they made this massive grimdark setting, everything's super gritty and serious and terrible, and then someone one day was like, okay, what if orcs are dumb as fuck, but they have magic that lets them, just whatever they imagine is real. And whoever came up with that, oh my, give that person a raise. And I'm sure they got a raise when they did. Give them another one. It's beautiful. Everything with orcs is phenomenal. It's actually, orcs are how I got some of my other friends into Warhammer, because like they, you know, they're not I want to be an edgelord grimdark fantasy people. I that's just me. I know I'm an edgelord and that's fine. But you know, I showed one of my friends the orcs and he was like, I love them. I'm like, yeah, I knew you would. All right. We're gonna save this guardsman. Hey. Stop messing with the circle. I'm trying to save this guardsman, not deal with these regular mobs. We're gonna stay alive by moving fast. Like the Sonic X theme song says, gotta go fast. That would be the world's worst crossover. Sonic and Warhammer 40k. Naturally, he would be an Ultramarine. Dice Cube? There's something in that. There's a joke about a triple X. There's something there. I don't know what it is, guys. But I don't know. Laugh. There we go. Okay, I think. Have I saved him? Are you saved? Like, I feel like you're saved, but you're not acting like you're saved, buddy. Yeah, you still got the question mark. Are you not saved? When will you be? Was that like the activity and I gotta make it out of this mission alive? Because that, we all know that ain't happening. I'm almost dead right now. Ain't no way I'm finishing this mission. You are stuck here, sir. I hope you're Acadian. Or maybe a Catachin? Yeah, Catachins could survive. Oh no, it was that guy. I don't like what just happened, I think. Yeah, because, okay. There was, like, one, and I just couldn't tell by his movement pattern, because there was only one left, and there were so many others just swarming me that I was just like, I don't know. But cool, we got guardsmen. Which I've decided is Acadian. I've decided that he's Acadian. That's just the truth I choose to live by. If he was from any other planet besides that, or maybe he's not a Kriegsman, we can see that. I assume he would have been dead by now if he was something else. dead and converted into biomass. Oh, I died. Okay, cool. I'm really happy we unlocked Trooper Barstow's Kozlowski. Okay. We take those. We're gonna do that. We are gonna health, maybe? I don't know. I don't what little I guess aura is important. That way I don't like that's the thing I find in so many of these games because I haven't seen a magnet yet, right? That's I should remember that. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, I'll get a magnet. You don't have to do anything. Let's play my boy here, my new boy. I'm like, you don't have to do anything. You'll just get a magnet. I have yet to see a magnet. Oh, he's got that flashlight with absolutely no range, and it's on its lowest setting. Good God. Good God. He really has that flashlight. God bless him. Oop, actually, maybe not. If I say that, Big E would have my head. For the Emperor? There we go. Chat, we're gonna die so fucking fast. I do actually kind of like this, though. That's hilarious to me. It's exploding bolt shells in the face direction. What? You just call in one of your weapons is just a fucking space marine. What? That's hilarious. Oh, I love that. That's awesome. That's so awesome. That is that's fucking great. One of your weapons is just a whole ass space marine because if you tried to fire a bolter, it'd probably dislocate your shoulder. Which is like, that's always a weird thing. I assume it's just that like some people with power armor can fire them because like humans can and do use bolters. Quite frequently, actually. And then you have Sisters of Battle. That is like my, I want to rush to unlock. I want the Sisters of Battle. If Saint Celestine is in this game, I will acquire Saint Celestine. If she's not, that's okay. I'll take other... What the fuck? That was everything I had. Okay, maybe being a guardsman is, in this game, bad and also terrifying. Which, I like that. Because I guess that's the thing, is like, thinking about it, right? Anytime there are guardsmen in games where you are a space marine, guardsmen are frail, tiny little humans. And anytime there are guardsmen in other games, it's suddenly like, you know, you have Warhammer 40k Darktide, where it's like, yeah, Humies could handle this. It's like, could they? Are you sure? But like, there's no Space Marines in that, so gameplay-wise, you have to, right? But, man. Alright, yeah, they make you feel like a Humie. I don't like this. I want to feel strong. I need an adult. Well, actually, I have an adult. There we go. Here's Boltgun as a weapon. It's just a whole ass dude. That'd be great if, like, once you start unlocking, like, Sisters of Battle and, like, other things, whenever you're a guard, you just get people. Like, you don't actually pick up weapons, you just get extra people. There we go. I really needed to abuse these egg sacs better. No, 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 no. Please no. There's two of you. Of course there's two of you. Why wouldn't there be two lictors? Breathing down my neck. Do I know how to get stronger as this character? No. Yes, it is a 40k survivors like. How's it going, head click? I am having a lot of fun with this one because I love Warhammer 40k, man. Absolutely love the whole universe, everything about it. Granted, as a fan of it, I would never want to be in it, but everything else, solid. Please don't. Do I just get a chainsword? Okay, well... Yeah, okay, so being a guardsman, you're a summoner. That's awesome. Yeah, because I guess technically the guard is our horde army, right? Like, technically in 40k, the Imperium is a horde army. We don't think of it like that, because it's like, oh, we're people, we're one planet, there's not a lot of us, but in 40k, we are everywhere. That's actually really funny. What's my favorite 40k game? I've gotta say that, like, currently it really is between Darktide and Space Marine 2. I have had a lot of fun with Boltgun. And some of the older titles I enjoy. I never got into Total War. I probably should have. But by the time I started getting into Warhammer, RTSs were, like, no longer my thing. Is it lore heavy? Yes and no. And by yes and no, I mean you don't need to know the lore to play this and enjoy it. But if you know the lore, then I don't know, some things might seem a little more interesting to you. But I think so far, if you just like Survivor likes, you can just jump on into this, you know? Because, like, that's the thing. I know some lore. I would not by any means say I'm like a Warhammer lore head or any of that. Space Marine 2 has you in a chokehold recently? Yeah, they did update 13 today too, didn't they? They dropped this, they shadow dropped the demo for this, and then they dropped update 13. I hear that's coming with a lot of new cosmetics and stuff, which seems really cool. I like the idea of being able to have like iron halos and stuff on bulwarks. That was always like one of my big gripes, was I was like, I'm a bulwark, why do I not have an iron halo? This is BS. I should be able to get one. I don't think it's gonna be functional, but it'll look cool as hell. Space Marine 2 has me sad though, because that is one of those games that, like, it really requires like it has a high skill ceiling, right? And even like a kind of, I wouldn't say high, but like a higher than average barrier to entry. And the thing is with it, like, I used to play it a lot to the point where, like, I was playing on, you know, absolute and shit like that and fine. And then I started just playing a lot of other games. And I'm like one of those people where my reflexes just like untune from a game very quickly. So like within about a month, I went back to play it and I was like, oh, I need to play on normal. Great. Which, like, I wouldn't have minded, but apparently a lot of the cosmetics in Update 13 are ordeals that require you to do things in, like, higher difficulties. So I need to get my reflexes back. Gonna have to take a solid whole weekend and go through a training arc. Please no, why are you not glowing but just as scary as the glowing ones? I need this Space Marine following me around to do more, my guy. I need you to do more. Please, no. I don't know why I thought saying please no would help me, but something deep down was begging for my life. Yeah, we'll just do like a little smattering of other stats. We're gonna go back to him. I like the idea of the guard, and I actually really like that it is you upgrade the lasgun and it calls a guards, like an extra guardsman. It's not just like, oh, you turned up your flashlight. It's like, no, you're the guard. You fight. Your whole victory comes from numbers. It feels like it's fairly meta progression heavy. This definitely feels more on the side of like, unless you're just absolutely goated at survivor likes, you are not going to win your first run. Type of deal. And I honestly would go as far to say I doubt most people can win their first run. Maybe someone can. It's not me. And I'm never going to act like I'm that guy. Yeah, it seems fairly meta progression heavy. Which I hope it kind of is meta progression heavy in the same way Vampire Survivors was, where if you like just kind of pour your stuff into getting coins and stuff, you just hit like a weird tipping point where you're just gaining meta progression super fast and it's not a problem. I'm just not at that point, right? Oh, that's cool. Okay, so either way, when you do the las gun, it's like you're grabbing a guardsman. All right, that's cool. I really like how they did that, actually. Really enjoy that. Would really love a level up. Just need a level up. I should probably just be... What I should be doing is, like, kiting that lictor around, like, obstacles and crap, but I'm not. Because that would require me to have a brain and think when I play. Do I do that? No, chat. Do I want to? Some days. I do want to find what a magnet looks like, though. That is like my new goal. Because if there are no magnets in this game, I'm going to be very sad. And probably very dead a lot of the time. Nope, you're going to rush me. I see you. I saw you pause. You bitch. Can't fool me. A little as gun. Cool. We take those. Can I get a level? Thank you. We're gonna go with movement speed so that I can start actually pathing through things. As any good Survivor-like player knows, that's how you live. Armor doesn't matter. Health regen does not matter. You live by running. I mean, let's be honest, armor and health regen do matter, depends on the game, but I'm assuming it's not going to be this one. What I really need is an upgrade of my chainsword. I've been, like, neglecting that, and it would be super awesome, you know, if it hit both ways. That'd be crazy. Oh, you just ran over the wall. Okay, you don't care. You don't care what that is. Good. Good to know. I'm not gonna lie, chat, I was not moving right because I thought that was a wall. And it was. He just did not give two fucks that it was a wall. Okay, what terrain can you and can't you go through? That's really my big question here, because I'm clearly making bad choices because I think you can't go through things that you can. It's okay, though. We know how to grab more health now, so I'm not too concerned anymore. I think my initial problems were just like I didn't realize all the egg sacs just were the breakable items in this game that had the health. This is very much so a you stop moving, you die kind of survivor-like. Not a you can get powerful enough to stay still. I mean, you probably can, right? I just am not there. I started this all of an hour ago, maybe. What time? Yeah, an hour ago, literally. I would kill for an egg sack. Quite literally. Seriously. Okay, you bounced off of that a little bit. Like that befuddled you, maybe? A little bewumbled at it? Confused? Gobsmacked? I don't know. Hey, we got a chest down there. Okay, he's dead. That's one out of the 3 that were chasing me, and now there's a new guy. A warrior. We don't want to deal with that. Okay. Be a big chest? You're not a big chest. Hey, though. That's perfect. That's actually exactly... I had to wish for something. That was exactly what I wanted. Do I go Boltgun? I don't think so. I think we go Null Noil. I think maybe I start going Boltgun. I think that might be part of why I'm losing. I keep grabbing Null Noil like it's going to do something, and it kind of just sporadically throws down patches of poison, essentially. Yeah, I figured you were going to come after me. This warrior's keeping his distance. I like that. Oh. And that was all she wrote. Alright. What do we want to put into now? I want more for Tithe. I really do. Let's go health. And we can just throw this last one somewhere, I guess. It's not enough for anything. Wow, okay. Alright, yeah, my play for this time is I don't actually need to go anywhere, right? We've gotten the points of interest on this map. So I'm gonna stay put and just try to kill. The difficulty curve seems crazy compared to most. Yeah, you just take a lot of damage at first. I do really think it is kind of buried in the meta progression. Or I could just be playing like absolute dog shit. Like there's that. There's also that. I always have a hard time gauging like whether a game is harder or I'm just bad, because my consistency, my skill consistency in games is it's tenuous at best. Sometimes I will pull off absolutely goated shit, and other times it'll be like, hey, have you ever played a game before? And I'll be like, no. Not a day in my life. I also think a lot of it for at least for Survivor likes for me, right? Because I play a lot of them, and you know you do too. But it is all about figuring out what is the priority in this one, right? And sometimes I figure it out right away, and so a game that people are like, oh, this is a pretty hard Survivor, like I'm like, no, it's not. You just stack armor, right? But other times, I just don't. Like, I clearly haven't figured out the like scaling stat of this game. Like, I haven't figured out what I really should be prioritizing yet. And that's kind of my issue son of a, I could have used that later. That's kind of currently my issue, I think. Hey, what's up, Brickatan? How you doing? Oh, please don't, please don't, please don't. Can you just... Yeah, go back to your army in the form of biomass. I think I might just really just push Chainsword this time. I think that's actually, that might be the key here, is just like make one weapon completely goated and just like level the shit out of it, make it disgusting, and then I can start doing other things. I've been kind of spreading around and being like, I have 10 different weapons. That should be good. I'm always a bit shocked by how melee is implemented in Survivor likes. So many ways to skin a cat, and all of them make me just go, huh. Yeah, that's completely fair. Melee is always a very interesting pick for Survivor. Like, are there any active skills? Not that I know of. Maybe there's a dash. Is there a dash? Not that I know of. I think this is all auto so far. Maybe there will be... I mean, I guess if I think about it, are there any active skills in Vampire Survivors? I don't think there are. And I say this like, yes, I understand it's the king and the father of that genre. I just haven't played it in so long, so off the top of my head, I don't know. I played it a little bit for some B-roll for a video a while back, but I hadn't, like... It wasn't a paying attention play it. It was a get skills, make footage that works, play it. I also have maxed out meta progression, so even if there are active skills or something like that in that game, I just don't pay attention, don't need them. I'm not gonna lie, and I feel like, I almost feel like I'm just like outright blaspheming by saying this, but I could see this working real good on mobile, and I kind of want it to be on mobile. This is a super good doctor's office waiting room game. Don't get me wrong, if I get too into this, ain't no way I'm going in that appointment, but like still, I would love that. Yeah, let's just focus on staying put and farming the crap out of stuff. I think that's the key. Yeah, you know, wait, creates projectile, that's not gonna help. Do I go for Lasgun or Null Oil? Lasgun will help with, honestly, kind of fucking nothing. We'll just go Null Oil and keep going, and we'll keep trying to push Chainsword. They truly did go with the Lasguns are flashlights in this game. Which is like always odd, because I love how people will whip out that fun fact. They're like, oh yeah, lasguns can blast right through ceramite if you turn them all the way up. And it's like, when the fuck, other than fighting chaos, do you see guardsmen running around with fully turned up lasguns? When is that happening? Because I've never seen it. Hey, happy Thursday, Juno. Alright. For those of you who aren't privy to the lore, lasguns are the standard issue assault rifle for guardsmen, and hence they are laser powered, hence lasgun. But often they're turned down, so you have a lot of shots, but not a lot of power, and that is why they are often called flashlights. However, apparently they can be dialed up to 11. And maybe at that point it's no longer a flashlight, but I don't see that happening here. At least not at the point I'm at. Where I'm just trying my damnedest to farm XP. Honestly, and I hope they do this, because it would be really cool. I hope like the last character you unlock in this game is like an unpainted Space Marine, so you can essentially like paint him whatever color you want. Because that's originally why there are 20 legions, but there's only 18, and you don't talk about the other two. It's because way back when, Games Workshop was like, yeah, the whole point is like you can make your own legions, but people just weren't doing that, so they just were like, all right, fuck it, man, we'll just have them be mysterious and gone. And the only people who know what happened to them is the Primarchs, particularly probably Lehman Russ, because that's his job, and Big E. Curious if I'll get a vertical chainsword? I am too. Maybe like when I hit max, they just start spinning around me, like a spin to win kind of deal. Like a Garen League of Legends happening. Okay, this is starting to get intense. My kingdom for a magnet, or at least to know what they look like. Are they in the game? Do we not have magnets? I would love one. because we've hit the point where I can no longer put myself out of position to get XP. You're pressing me pretty hard, game. Health. Yeah, that took too long to activate. I did not like that. Like, that was a... If I grabbed that on my last breath, I was dead. Okay. I don't think I'm ever going to get a vertical one. I think I'm just going to get a lot of horizontal ones, because, like, that just added an extra one, but now I just have two that go one way and one that goes the other. Lictor, stop. Bro. Quit rushing me. God damn. Alright, I need massive amounts of movement speed at this point. And I need to forget about grabbing XP. I need to find an egg sac that is habited by a health pack. There we go. That's the play. No! Why are you so fat? I mean, it's a lictor. I want to be mad about this, but oh boy. Okay. Please, please, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Increase the size of attack? Yeah, we go with those. Huh, stayed in here too long. I'm gonna die. Oh, got out. But now I'm on the run for forever and a day. Okay. Let's see if we can find another egg sac. Let's see if we can get out of this. I don't have faith, chat, but I'm gonna try. I don't have faith, but I will not give up hope. My kingdom for more games where you don't play as Space Marines. And this is what I was saying, chat. Like, some people like Space Marines and some people do not. I mean, I play a bunch of 40k Darktide Rakatan, so, like, that's where I get my Space Marines not included fun. Oh, that was cool. I dislike that it was one, but that's good to know that that's what that does if I just see gold fucking lictors. I'm good. I'm not mad, chat. Not mad at all. Let's see. I would like more move speed, please. That would be extremely helpful. Alright. I think we were getting close. We were getting close. I think, yeah, the play is really buckle down, get that XP. I genuinely want to know where I acquire magnets from. So many amazing races in 40k, but for some reason 80% of the digital content is Space Marines. See, that's what I want, right? Like, I find there are a lot of people who, like, hate Space Marines because they're like, they're Mary Sue's and they just, like, stand the guard. Why am I just not playing, like, an Eldari game? Like, I understand ultimately they're the bad guys, but, like, why am I not playing a game where I'm an Eldari? Why am I not... Why? I was about to say, why are there not more orc games? But there's a fair amount of orc games. It's Space Marines and orcs, man. And then I feel like they do Rogue Trader, and they're like, here's your diversity. Kind of. But yeah, I even if it's not playing as the other races, I wish games had them more present, you know? Okay, we're gonna go with that. That's clearly the choice here. Give me a first-person shooter as a Tau rifler sniper. Oh, Tau rifle sniper would be sick. I feel like here's the problem. I feel, and you, Rakatan, you knew this when you said it. Ain't no way, even if they do try to go with a game where you play as other characters, ain't no way their first move is gonna be the Tau. I feel like Tau is one of the most polarizing races in all of Warhammer 40k. What the hell's a rifler? In some games, that's just like a rifleman. They will call them riflers. I've seen that. I can't tell you what game. And it wasn't a 40k one, but I've seen that. But yeah, like, don't get me wrong. It'd be cool, but ain't no way they start with Tau. They would do Eldar. They would do a lot of things before they touch Tau. Because I feel like that's the thing. So many, like, I was talking about people who like hate Space Marines and they kind of stand the guard, but I think that is one of those things that both sides of the community can shake hands on, is that 80% of the community hates the Tau. At least your machine boy. Yeah, at least they do a fair amount of stuff with Mechanicus, which is pretty cool. For 5 minutes and I'm greater gooding? No, I'm just talking about how nobody likes the Tau except for people who like the Tau. I understand what I actually said, but unless you know 40k, you don't understand what I actually meant. Thank you very much for the super chat, Tactical. Thank you very, very much. Can confirm Tau. Just because I watch anime does not mean I like the Tau. I have a lot of problems with the fucking Tau, okay? I think my issue with the Tau is it is, this greater good lie. That's why I don't like the Tau. Right, like, there's a lot of people who, like, hate the Tau because either, A, playing against the Tau is annoying. There's a lot of people who hate the Tau because the Tau get nerfed all the time, so they're playing them is kind of bad. There's a lot of people who hate the Tau because they're like, I don't like anime. I don't like the Tau because politically they suck. Right? Like, and what I mean by that is technically they don't, but they actually do. Right? Like, that's my issue with the Tau, is it's like, yeah, greater good, we all can exist together. Sick message, dude. Are people saying that out of free will, or did you brainwash them? I'll play Tau over Ultimate. Okay, hold on. Look, I like my Space Marines. Do not give me the blueberries. Do not ever give me the blueberry. I hate the blueberries, man. I'm so sick of them. The blueberries are the Superman to every other Space Marines chapter's Batman or any other Justice League hero that isn't Superman, okay? I just can't do it anymore. Every time I see anything, it's a fucking blueberry. And I get it, right? Like, as a brand, what is recognizable by people who don't know the brand? I guarantee you, if you ask anyone who doesn't know what Warhammer 40k is, and you're showing them non-blueberry, they're gonna be like, what the fuck is that? And if you show them the blueberry, you'll be like, oh, it's that space thing, right? Like, sure, they're not gonna know, but they will recognize the blueberry before they'll recognize, you know, anything else. I was about to say before they recognize a Grey Knight, and I realized that's entirely the point of the Grey Knights. I realized that's the way they want it. I also really want to play the tabletop, but I don't want to pay for the tabletop. And I also don't have, like, a nearby store or place to go play the tabletop, which is sad. And I'm gonna be honest, especially with how expensive the tabletop is, ain't no way I can goad my friends into doing it. They'll do a lot. They won't do that. And that's completely fair. Alright, I think... I don't know, I feel... You know what, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up and not jinx myself. I'm doing terrible. I have to stay on my guard or else I'm gonna lose. That's what I'm gonna say. Weapon reload time. It's a sword. If I had to reload a chainsword, I wouldn't use a chainsword. I guess in a way you technically have to reload a power sword, but like not really. Can you die? Are you, what are you, just impervious to getting chainsworded 12 times in the face? Apparently. Enemy speed, health, quantity, and frequency by 10%. Man, that sounds horrid right now. That sounds amazing if I want to farm later. That sounds awful today. That'll probably be my, like, around... Oh, that's so cool! Oh, that was so sick! I'm really glad they included that. So when the warrior died, because Tyranids are a hive mind, all the ones around him got stunned. They make that gameplay different a little bit in every kind of Warhammer game. Sometimes all of the Gaunts will die, but I think they probably were like, you can't, the whole point of a Horde survivor is the Horde, so maybe no. Sometimes they'll scatter, but that was, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed how they did that. I'll say that. That was nice. I think that's like my favorite part about playing a new Warhammer 40k. Jesus! Okay, I'm gonna give me a second while I shut up and lock in. Anyways, I was saying I think that's my favorite part about any Warhammer 40k game is seeing how they implement certain lore things. Because like all of these games are very heavily monitored by Games Workshop, right? Like, because the last thing they want is the classic, oh, can I make a game with your IP? And then someone just being like, what if it just didn't make any fucking sense and had nothing to do with the IP? Because like there's, again, back to what Rectan was saying, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. We'll see how they get there though. My kingdom for a frickin' magnet. I just have XP every way. That's how you get StarCraft? Okay, yeah, and that's cool. I feel like a lot of times that's how you just get bad shit, though. Hey, Lictor, stay the hell away from me. That power-up was fun. I liked the, fact that the guns sounded like rain on a metal roof for a second. And it's like, yeah, sometimes you do get really cool stuff out of that. There's just so many times where it's like, yeah, so we just made it bad. Why don't people like the, Avatar, The Last Airbender? Enough said. Every non-OG property of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And it sucks because even when the creators tried to be like, okay, we're gonna watch this carefully and make sure it's good, they were like, what if we just were insufferable and basically kicked you off the project? What if we did that? Can't believe it took me that long to think of an actual example of when people just took and ruined an IP and then looked around wondering why the fans of said IP didn't like what they did to it. I think that is like the weirdest thing to me, that like Hollywood still doesn't understand, like, don't do that. And I guess they probably do understand that, like, oh, the actual fans won't like it, but they'll probably make their money back so they don't care. Alright, yeah, this was the play, to just sit around and hoard XP until I could... I probably should look up what the fusions are, but like, I'm kind of enjoying not knowing. I'm kind of enjoying just like experiencing a survivor like the internet doesn't exist. I don't do that with games often anymore, and part of me misses that. I think that was like a huge thing I realized when I was playing Monster Crown Sin Eater. I really enjoyed that game because I kind of got back to like the roots of video game playing in like the 90s. I couldn't look up anything. You know, I couldn't just, I mean, I could look up some stuff, but like I really, a lot of times the information wasn't out there, so I just had to experience the game. And boy, guys, it's crazy what happens when you just do that. It's nuts. I actually think I'm okay on speed. Like, not really, but I think at this point, the way the Horde's going, running away is not going to help me. It's going to be more about overwhelming power and careful pathing. I'm a little mad it took me this long to get to this point in this game, but like, you know, I suck at games, what can I say? Oh, Biovore. Not happy. Not happy. Go away. Go away, you. Go away, you. You spit a spore mine at me, I will throw my controller through my camera. Do not make me do that. Damn! Tanky as fuck. Alright. Didn't I finish upgrading you? Oh! Chat, I found what I like. This is now fun. Good, good. Good, good. You know what? Let's add the dice. Let's add the lasgun. Let's add... We got big chainsword. Now I got like a little guardsman puppy on a leash. How? I wonder how they end this, because I assume they're going to do it in Vampire Survivors fashion where like death comes and gets you, but is it going to be like... Is it going to be like... Nurgle, Zinch... Angron? Demon Primarch Angron just shows up and beats your ass? Is that even melee anymore? Sir. I think if you have to ask that, you don't truly understand Warhammer 40k. That's just a sword. That's a regular sword. That's not even special. Angron's got a bigger one. Well, he did. And then someone broke that. Solid book. Solid book. Kind of. It drags on a little bit in the end, but like, whatever. Like, I feel like the whole war could have been like, we could make this a chapter. Yeah, exactly. It's like a chainsword from like a you know, a demon Primarch or something scarier. I don't like you, Biovore. Go away. Did you even... did he even drop XP or did he just disappear? It looks like he just disapparated. Like, he didn't even... Nothing was there. He just stopped. Okay. Cool. Whatever, he's dead. I feel like I still have yet to see a magnet. Or was that when I, like, leveled up 20 times, did I get one and it just fell out of something and I didn't notice what it looked like? That's really depressing. You go for more lasgunners. Oh, no. That's the Hive Tyrant. What if you just got absolutely... Yeah, zoned. There we go. between the deluge of chain mega swords and proper bolter fire, you don't come back. This isn't good, chat. Once I see this point in a survivor, this is now the next 12 hours of my life. Sleeping's not an option. That's not gonna happen. You're gonna see me at For the Boys tomorrow, and I'm gonna be, like, half dead. I don't even know what we're playing, but tell you what, I will not be doing it well. Is that a magnet? No. What the fuck was that? Is that reinforcements? What was that? Auspex scan? Oh, who are you? Oh, Biowar. I just saw his, like, little leggies. And I was like, that needs to die. And I thought it was going to be a little more exciting than what it is. Alright, more damage. We take those. Alright, now we're just hosing stuff with bullets. This is what survivor likes are for. This is that reward dopamine. Nope. I do not condone the use of thropes. Thank you. Fuck out of here. Psyker bugs are scary. And they're abominations. I hope one of the characters you can unlock is a Sister of Silence. Speaking of abominations. I hope. Oh, I'd be so happy. Like, they'll have sisters, right? Like, that's gotta happen. That's non-negotiable in a Warhammer 40k game where you're gonna unlock a bunch of characters. But a Sister of Silence would be fun. How's the meta progression so far? Very lengthy. It is very much so Vampire Survivors. I wouldn't call it super interesting, but I would call it very saturated. I will say, though, it seems to also be Vampire Survivors in the level of, you know, you go around the map, you find key things that'll add something, some other kind of meta thing. So it could turn out to be really, really cool. Right now, it feels like it might end up being a bit grindy. We'll see. You admire my avoidance of the word padding. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. And I'm seeing it more and more in Survivor likes these days, and it's really starting to bother me. Because, like, so I understand when you are a live service game and you make your money by people not playing anything else but your game. So you have a shitload of padding, you have a shitload of grind. I'm not happy about that, but for a live service game to actually exist, you kind of need that, and, you know, that's just, like, how money works, right? Like, you kind of, like, it sucks, but for a live service game to work, that kind of has to happen. Fine. I get it. You know, at least with live service games, you have events and things to break up the grind and keep people interested. It is wild when I see people who are just like, hey, I made this, like, random survivor, like, you paid $5 for it, you already bought it. I get no extra money by you continuing to play. You continuing to play does nothing for me. You have to play for 1,000 hours to beat the game. Why the fuck? Why? If you really want to have something, like, show up later, add DLC in, like, 2 years, but why in crikey fuck are you having me play 1,000 hours in, like, a survivor like don't do that. That's not cool. I can't tell if I'm supposed to die here or what, because this just suddenly turned into all warriors, and I mean, that's not good. We keep getting that money, and that's the whole point. We have enough for the double shot, which is nice. And now we have enough for the revive. Okay, cool. That is... we're gonna call that meta progressed. There's Steam metrics incentives behind it. Oh. Your own demo started getting so much more visibility when the median playtime broke an hour. And see, this is the problem, right? And it's systemic, and it's in Steam, social media. It is in anything where money can be made and the internet is involved. They have to track how things work via metrics, and metrics are imperfect, especially when art is concerned. So you hit systems like that, right? And I can entirely understand why Steam would be like, people are still playing this game. Cool, we should give it more visibility because that means people like it. I fully get that. But also, like, yeah, the engagement becomes the exactly. It turns into getting engagement for engagement's sake rather than following through with a vision. And, like, you know, I think that is one thing I can say from, like, starting to cover games, indie games, and, like, seeing a lot of them. The most successful ones I see are the ones where a dev was passionate about it and made it to their design. They weren't trying to play to metrics, they were trying to make something cool, and they did. And, you know, then you see other cash grabby stuff where it is all just... it is just metrics padding. And and to be clear, I'm not calling this that. I'm not talking about any particular game at the moment. I'm just saying I see that kind of trend, and I dislike it greatly. Because I think there was a lot of stuff that could have been really cool that ended up not being as cool. Okay, I think I'm healed. That ended up being not as cool because if you look at the back end, or you look at like certain choices they made, yeah, it's because, oh, this is gonna sell more because Steam will take notice, or whatever. You know, Epic Games will take notice, and it sucks. All right, I gotta lock in for 20 seconds, please. Please lock in for 20 seconds myself. Yeah, that's right, guys. I'm begging my brain to lock in. That's what happens when you have ADHD. You have to ask it permission. And sometimes it just says no. Do I have to go to minute 30? I'm unhappy about this. I guess I have to go to minute 30. Are there no fusions in this game? Made a Reddit thread covering how I managed to get a shitty 14-minute median playtime up to an hour 16. Okay. And some good questions popped up, but some others were literally just looking for gimmicks. Yeah. When the goal of the thread was more, hey, listen to your people and use the signals they're giving you to improve. Right. And see, that is the thing is, yeah, you can see that, and then you see the gimmick route, and I think it makes less interesting games. Because, and I think that the problem with the gimmick route making a worse game isn't that, like, oh, it de facto makes a worse game, but it is that it is, for lack of a better way to put it, a stolen idea that is not intentional. And what I mean by that is they didn't think of a real way to actually implement it in their game. They just shoehorn in a system that makes people play more, instead of being like, this is a cool thing, oh, it might take players a while, right? Because I think, like, that could be interesting. But I think when you see stuff fail, it's because they didn't do that. They just went, I went to a Reddit thread, asked another dev what they did to increase playtime, and, you know, their game is entirely, son of a, different than mine, but I just did exactly what they said. And it's like, well, that doesn't work for you because your games are different. And then they're just like, well, it seems to have worked. And you're like, oh, great. Okay. Those were two huge pieces of meta progression. That's so we get a revive now, and we start with extra bullet count, or, well, projectile damage count, whatever. Hey, Cthulhu Luck, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. The game is phenomenal, in my opinion, play-wise. Rekatan and I were actually just talking about how it looks like there's a bit of padding around some of the meta progression and things like that. And I'm not necessarily the happiest about that, but I also, you know, haven't seen the full extent of it and haven't seen how runs go. You know, the first few runs were that classic survivor, like, you're not going to win, just last a little while to get some money, die, and then go back in. So I think now I'm really going to see the game start to pick up, and we'll see how patty the meta progression feels, because that's the thing, is it might not actually be that much padding. It might actually be very reasonable when you're actually clearing runs. I just wasn't, so it felt lengthy. But now I have missiles raining from the sky, so that's pretty cool. Power Fist, we take those. We take 0 questions, we take those. Yeah, that's what you caught the end of, yeah. Just kind of talking about how I feel like lately I've seen quite a few games pad their playtime a lot with kind of unnecessary stuff. I mean, like, there's a couple survivor likes that come to mind that I'm just like, you didn't need to be this grindy. Like Temtem Swarm is one. Absolutely love the game, to be super clear. This is not me knocking the game in any way, shape, or form, but I just dislike how grindy it ended up being. So I guess I am knocking it in a way, shape, or form, but the rest of the game's great. I just think it shouldn't be as grindy as it is. Same thing with Spell Brigade. It's another one I think is very grindy. Tower of Babel, yep. Yeah. Yeah, it is, and it is, I don't know, it's just kind of annoying because it's like, especially with survivor likes being such an oversaturated genre, I don't know about you, part of the reason my channel is the way it is and why I started it was not literally, but there's a part of me that wants to play them all, you know what I mean? Like, obviously I can't, and that's not quite what I'm trying to do. But there is a part of me deep down that's like, I want to experience a lot of them to the fullest, but then you're just releasing these like game padded things where it's like, hey, you gotta play for 500 hours. I'm like, that ain't gonna happen. So that's my 35 video Tower Babel play. Well, see, and that's the other thing though, right? And I think that actually is on top of the Steam metric thing. That could also be influencing it, right? If there's more content for creators to play, then whoever, you know, made that game is getting more like free advertising, right? So I think that is also probably contributing to it, because like, and not to say that like creators shouldn't do playlists. No, please do. That's kind of the point. But I definitely think that is probably influencing some game devs' decisions around things that may not be the most amazing. But, you know, that's just me. I didn't even look at the other item. I saw weapon and picked weapon because missiles from sky are cool. Tower Babel vids were actually one of your top watch series, and that's the thing, is like, that's great too. But I also think, like, right, if it's one of your more watched things, you were able to make it interesting. So that's on you as a creator doing that. So good on you. And that's also just like, okay, there were interesting enough things to do in the game. And I think there can be a very big difference between a game that has a lot of playtime and interesting enough things to do, and we padded it for Steam metrics. I guess that's what it is. The day someone likes my game enough to do a comprehensive series like that, I know I'm freaking ready to release. You know, here's the thing. I'm real excited to see what this season 3 brings. Can you? Okay, thank you. Very creative with builds. Yeah, exactly. Right? And that kind of stuff matters. Like, that's important. That's genuinely... You have a game where it's just like, okay, so you have to prestige 27 times to unlock the last stuff. And it's like, what? Like, what do you get out of this? Don't worry, Cobalt, all the nodes are just small percent bonuses, nothing remotely interesting. I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all. There's gonna be some cool shit somewhere. I know that for a fact. Like, I guess not for a fact, but I know it in my bones. Don't lie to me. No, deep down in my bones. White Dwarf. Do these have fusions, or do they just have, like, ultimate forms? I really gotta check. 5,000 nodes of plus 3% damage. Hey, you can get extra playtime out of the players if you make it 10,000 nodes of 1.5% damage. Now that's metrics maxing, okay? And that's free advice from your pal Cobalt. But the skill tree makes a hell of a screenshot for your trailer. I don't doubt it. Also, people don't really understand how much prep time it takes to make videos and builds. Gotta farm the gear for the... Yeah. Yep. Well, and it's why, like, even when I did more Let's Plays on my channel, I usually stayed away from build videos. Because, man, a video that I'd be like, this will take a couple hours, and be like, oh, fuck, this is gonna take... This is now my whole day. Remind you to cut me in on the revenue for what, for giving you the idea to lower that to a 1.5% damage boost for each node, so you have 10,000 nodes so people can play the game for years. It takes stamina for those? Yeah. And that's the other thing, is like, I'm also one of those people where, like, I didn't do a lot of build videos because I didn't like if I saw a similar build already on YouTube, I was like, okay, well, I want to do a different build. And then, like, especially if it's a game in demo or early access and there's only like 3 builds, I'm sitting there being like, which one do I pick that I've already seen covered? PoE 5 brain right here. Yeah, that's fair. And see, I was never a Path of Exile person, and I want to be clear, it's not because I don't like making builds. I actually love tinkering. I've talked with Rekatan for hours about how I love tinkering in games. I didn't get into PoE because that was gonna be a problem for me. I died. That's sad. And I forgot I had a res. That's double sad. I was reading chat when I resed because I entirely forgot I had one. All right, guys. It is about that time. I am gonna have to head out. Thank you all for tuning in. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun. If you enjoyed the stream and you're over on YouTube, a like and a sub would be very much so appreciated. I'm trying to grow the channel right now, and every little bit helps. And if you're over on Twitch, a follow would be very much so appreciated. Those are all the free ones, by the way, guys. Really helps And if you want to support the channel further, sub on Twitch, or you can join membership on YouTube. But anyways, thank you all. And if you ever just want to hang out and play games, I do have a Discord, so hit that up. Me and my buddies are around there playing a lot of games, hanging out. Anyways, peace out, guys.